Okay, so the question is, I have $5,000 to invest. What do I do with it? This is a very, very common question. It's usually 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000. The question is, I have a couple of $1,000s to invest. Where should I go and put the money? Here's my answer to that. Firstly, the people who are asking these questions, the people with a few grand looking for investment tips on Snapchat and on Instagram, usually they're the people who want me to sort of give them a specific stock or a specific crypto or a very specific asset class to go and put the 5,000 into, right? So that they can go and turn it into get a big return. Here's what you got to understand about that though. When you're dealing with big returns, you have a law of diminishing probability. So if this is your 100% probability, this is a certainty, and down here you have a 0% chance of happening, which is an impossibility, and then sort of middle ground, you have like, this is a 50% chance of that actually playing out. You know, lottery is sort of down here, right? You're not gonna win the lottery. There's a very low probability of winning the lottery. Now, these are your returns. So you have your 10% per annum, which is the average return of the stock market over the last 100 years. You got to 20%, and this sort of goes up like this, right? And this is where you start to do like a 10x your money. This is where you start to get into like 100x your money, 1,000x your money. In my experience, the people with the few $1,000s to go and invest, they're looking for this ballpark here. They're looking for, how can I get the $5,000 and turn it into $10,000 by next month? How can I turn it into $100,000 by next year, right? They're looking for this. What a lot of them don't sort of realize is that there is a law of diminishing probabilities that goes a little bit like this. Meaning, if they were looking for the 10% per annum, you can buy a stock index fund and get 10% per annum. But when you're getting 10% per annum on $5,000, we're talking about $500 a year. Usually it's not a big enough return down here with the high probabilities to justify them doing it. And if they haven't got the mindset yet, if they haven't actually got the financial awareness to take action on something that can give them 10%, 20% per annum, they're going to be looking for this. This is what I call the unicorn territory, because the probability of actually 100xing your money, 1,000xing your money is very low. It's a very low probability of it actually happening. So if you have a couple of grand to invest, I want you to please consider this question. I want you to ask yourself, where are you playing the money game? Are you going for this sort of lottery? Are you trying to win the lottery? Are you trying to go for the unicorns? Because understand that you can 100x your money, you can go 1,000x your money, but the probability of that happening is very low. So do you want to leave your financial independence to chance? Do you want to risk it trying to chase unicorns, or do you want to go for the sure thing? For me, it was no question. I want to go for the sure thing because I don't want to leave my financial independence, I don't want to leave my wealth to chance. I don't want a low probability. I want 100% certainty that I'm going to become a millionaire, and I want 100% certainty that I'm become financially independent. And you can have that certainty if you go for the sure things. You got to go for the sure things, you put the runs on the board. But that means that you're going to have to be cool with taking a relatively lower return on your money. So if you're watching this, you've got a couple $1,000s and you want to invest it, just watch this for a second. This is what majority of people have, right? They have a wealth plan that looks a little bit like this. It's sort of a funnel, and their income comes in the top like this, right? And then it just sort of funnels down, and they have their lifestyle expenses spewing out the side here, and they have their rent, the mortgage, the bills. All of their wealth sort of spews it out and dissipates out. It goes in, it comes out, and they live week to week. The amount of income that they make is completely absorbed by their lifestyle. They have no saving plan, they have no investment plan, they have no real wealth strategy. So they get a couple of grand together and they're looking, how can I get the unicorn tonight? But you go and look at a millionaire, or you go and study someone who's created financial independence in their life, and you look at their wealth plan. This is what it'll look like. It'll have a big funnel up the top. It'll funnel down into this like this. They'll have a big system here called their investments. This is where all of their income comes in. Average millionaire has multiple income streams. This is smart, having more income streams and less outgoing streams. That's just smart money 101, right? This is their investment portfolio that generates a return, which delivers more income up the top and replenishes the funnel, right? And then down here, they have their expenses. This is where their expenses come out. This is where their lifestyle comes out. So they have all these income streams funneling down into an investment portfolio, which generates a return on their income, which generates passive income, which goes back to the top and funnels and cycles around and round and round and compounds. This is compounding interest. Then they have a little shoot off the side for their lifestyle expenses, because there are expenses. It's the cost of living. You need a house, you need to have some place to live. Usually you want a car. Usually people like to wear clothes and need some food. So there are going to be some expenses. But the wealthy people that I've met, the financially independent people, they restrict their expenses. They have a powerful investment portfolio that's churning day and night, year in, year out, month in, month out, that generates income from their income and cycles back to the top of the funnel. And it's a wealth machine. This is what I call the wealth machine. If you want to build financial independence, you need to build a chunky wealth machine. This is what normal people's looks like. They have one income stream, one single income stream, usually in the form of a job. It's active income. It's completely dependent on some other guy or some other business model. They show up at work every day. They sacrifice their time and space, which means they have to physically move their body into some geographic location, an office. At some particular time, they have to ask permission for when they want to go on a holiday. They have to ask people for permission. They have a single active income stream that funnels down. They have no savings, no investments. They have no compounding effect. Usually, income matches expenses, which means all the income that they come just slips through their hands every week. They live week to week or month to month. So if you've got a few grand to invest and your goal is to become financially independent, understand that firstly, you're going to need to learn how to invest. You're going to need investment strategies. I'm not talking about trying to chase a unicorn and trying to get rich quick. I'm not talking about 1000xing your money, because the probability of that happening is very low. If you want to achieve financial independence, don't leave it to luck. Don't leave it to chance. We're not here to play the lottery. That's ridiculous. That's what the middle class do. They try to get lucky. You can learn to invest. You can learn to build financial independence. You will need an investment strategy. You'll also need multiple streams of income. And you'll need to be wise about how you're spending your cash. Meaning you have to tighten up your spendings. It means you can't be blowing cash on dumb crap, on dumb things that depreciate in value, that really aren't important to you, that not even that meaningful to you. Now, I just launched a tool to our Infinite Prosperity students which targets this part here. It's called the Monthly Expense Optimizer, and basically you go through a big old list of all the things that you could potentially save on. These are the highest probability things that you can save money on. And so far it's been up for 48 hours now. And so far, people have been saving 10, 20, 30% of their monthly savings. It's about a 40, 50-minute process if you go and do it thoroughly. And in 40, 50 minutes, in less than an hour, you could save at least 10 to 20%. That's what the data is showing us so far. You could reduce your monthly outgoings by 10, 20%. Now, if you go and learn how to invest those savings, if you go and reduce your expenses, stop splurging on crap, reduce or eliminate unnecessary expenses, get those savings and learn to invest them, firstly at 10% and then moving gradually up with leverage, gradually up this way, because this is where the probability is, right? We're not going for this. I don't recommend or promote this really. I mean, I have some Bitcoins of myself and they've done very, very, very well. But understand that the probability of repeating that is very low. So you want to go for the sure thing. You want to get the runs on the board. You want to earn your way to ever higher return through leverage and methodical speculation. But mainly you want to learn to invest. You want to reinvest the dividends in the returns so that you have more income streams. You want to increase your income streams. So it's a three-step process. Reduce or eliminate unnecessary expenses. Invest the difference. Grow your income. If you do this, you can achieve financial independence relatively quickly and with a relatively high probability of success. You don't need to chase a unicorn. You don't need to get a unicorn. If you happen to find one, if you happen to get a Bitcoin, fantastic. But my advice is don't go and give up all of your liquidity. Don't go and give up all of your savings. If you've got $5,000, don't go and put the $5,000 into Bitcoin just because the hype's there, just because you've seen other people go and make some money now. That's absolutely crazy, because the probability of repeating that return and getting the same return as what they've already got, it's in the past. The probability of it going up another 1,000 times, very, very low. My advice, go for the sure thing. You don't need to take huge risks to grow wealthy. You don't need to take huge risks to grow rich in your 20s and become financially independent, quit your job before you turn 30. You can do it methodically and systematically and with low risk and low leverage. You start with no leverage, you earn your way to leverage, and you can build wealth this way. To finish up, if your current wealth system looks a little bit like this. You have one active income stream going through, and then all of the income is dissipated through your expenses, and you're not saving, and you're not investing, and you're not building wealth, you're not growing financial independence, and this looks appealing to you. You want to learn how to do this. It's simpler than it looks. I'm talking about reducing expenses, passively investing, and then growing income streams. So if that is interesting to you, you want to learn a bit more about that, I urge you to go and get a free membership at Infinite Prosperity, because at Infinite Prosperity, we're literally going to give you the tool that allow you to reduce your expenses by 10, 20, 30, 40% in less than an hour. Then we're going to teach you, with our silver membership, we're going to teach you how to invest passively and approximate a return of 10%, which is the return of the stock market over the last 100 years. And then we're going to teach you how to speculate your capital. You can grow this investment portfolio into speculative returns, which allows you to sort of move up the list here. That's going to increase your income, give you more income streams, and the whole thing snowballs and avalanches out from there. To go from having a wealth machine that looks like this over to something that looks like this takes about 3 to 4 weeks, and you can have something pretty solid set up in about 3 to 4 weeks. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what we do, find the button below this video or in the comments, or there'll be some freaking link somewhere. Find the thing. It's infiniteprosperity.com/free member, and you'll learn how to turn your wealth machine from this guy, which is like 99% of the population, into something very robust indeed. And we'll teach you how to create multiple income streams. We'll teach you how to invest. We'll teach you how to cut down your expenses. That's how you go from blowing all the money that you earn to saving some of it, investing, building wealth, building multiple streams of income, and building passive income that funds your lifestyle. My name is Lewis Mocker, and if you've enjoyed this video, if you got something from it, if you learned something, give it a like, give me a comment, give me a thumbs up or something, or send me a message. I really appreciate it. I'm certain that if we can get this wisdom out to the people, it can change lives. I know that this stuff changes lives.